probably got more deer rifles than I need for sure. You don't need but one, but I got several, and that's one of the things that I enjoy shooting. I enjoy kind of reading up on stuff like that, picking out a good caliber, trying something different, trying a new rifle. All that stuff is just I'm very passionate about. But that was the next thing is, what's your favorite gun? Why is it your favorite gun? When did you get your first deer rifle? Just any backstory. Because my brand new one ain't my most favorite for sure, But that's one of the things. I think everybody's rifle has a story, and, it might be who gave you that rifle or how'd you get that rifle or, who had that rifle before you, the hand-me-down, that's something. Everybody's gun has a story.
My first gun I ever hunted with, I remember, was a double-barrel 12-gauge. And I was probably 12 years old when I got to go with my uncle. They said, tote this gun. He put a buckshot on one side and a slug on the other side. And that jerk, I toted it, didn't have a sling or nothing. That's the first gun I ever remember hunting with. And then I got to shoot it. They didn't even let me shoot it before going hunting.
No, because you wouldn't want to shoot it again.
Yeah, they let me shoot it after, and it put a thumping on you. But that was the first gun I remember hunting with. I don't recommend it for deer hunting, but you gotta go somewhere. If somebody's gonna let you go with them, you take whatever you can.
Well, I guess when I was a kid, the first gun was a 410 with the slug. I never shot a deer with it. That's just first gun.
Yeah,
probably the same one I started with. A little single shot.
Yeah, no shot, no sight on the end. It was just a straight barrel.
That was a 30-yarder.
Yeah.
You better off hunting with a bow.
What's your first deer gun that your first rifle y'all started toting?
I've talked lever action 30-30, and that's one gun I don't remember why or who even sold it to or swapped it to. I wish I'd have kept, but I didn't.
Yeah. I hate getting rid of them. I got rid of my first one that I actually got. What was your first rifle, Mikey?
First deer rifle was a lever action 35, and I actually, the first year I had it, I actually did kill a deer with it. Pretty far off. I had iron sights on it, didn't have no optics on it or nothing like that. And then a few years later, I bought a actual deer rifle of my own. That one was give to me, and heck, I think
I killed my first deer with that 35.
Rifle. I still got it.
Kicked like a mule.
But that was the first one I ever had. It was a good rifle. No, it's still a good rifle.
Yeah, that's a good shooting gun. That's what I killed my first deer with. Right behind the house was that 35 Remington, and then I guess that same year, this will be my favorite gun. Probably was the first bolt action rifle I ever got. Brown and A bolt and a 260, and at the time, I guess that's when 708s were getting really popular. A lot of people had them back then, and that's what I wanted. Well, come time for Santa Claus to make his trip to, I guess, where'd y'all get that gun? Buck and Bass?
Bass Pro.
Me and Daddy drove
not Bass
everywhere.
Pro, Buck and Bass. That's where
we drove everywhere before we found that gun.
And no, y'all bought that one from Bart. That's where y'all got that from Oak Tree because you couldn't get a 708. There was no 708s nowhere out there. And I think y'all went to Bart, and he's like, man, he says 260's been a hot one. And sure enough, I'm glad we got a 260. That's been probably one of my favorite calibers.
Was the ammo hard to find for it even back then?
Back then it wasn't, and then a couple years later it got pretty hard. And right now it's not terrible. It's no worse than anything else right now.
Yeah.
I got a pretty good stockpile. I ain't too worried about running out. But
still have that gun?
Yeah, that gun ain't going nowhere. It's I've killed first buck with that gun. I've killed I don't know how many deer with it, but that's been my favorite. It's sweet shooting little gun, don't recoil, flat shooting, and will flat knock them on their tail.
We bird hunted with that gun one time.
Yeah, I shot what was it? A
egret or something?
Yeah, like a
duck,
catfish pond.
Yeah,
is that a legal bird to kill?
Well, we was that weekend.
No, he had permits to pull them. They had permits to shoot them birds off the catfish pond.
Yeah,
and we pulled up, and it was I can't remember. It was 580 or 550 yards.
It was so far he
really?
shot, and we're like, you missed, and then the bird just like blew up.
It was pure luck. I mean, he said, get out there and shoot at it. And I was 16, 17. I wasn't that old.
Me, you, and Strick Rogers.
I laid across the hood of his truck. He's like, just put it over his head. I did. I just guessed. Pow.
What scope do you have on there?
Leopold.
No, it was I don't know. It was either, when we bought the gun, Daddy, I think, put a Tasco on it. That's when everybody had a Tasco back then.
Started with.
And they might have a Burris on or something then, I think. It wasn't no high dollar scope or nothing, but sure enough, pulled the trigger. And like Jamie said, it seemed like a good second and a half. And I was like, man, all of a sudden you seen poof, feathers. He's like, shoot the one next to it. I never hit that one.
Yeah.
It was pure luck on that first one.
My first rifle was an Alt 6. Remington
Jam-O-Matic.
7400 Jam-O-Matic. Man, I like that gun.
I got one.
It was but that was, I had a Simmons scope on it, 44. Magnification, it was a 3x9, I think, 44.
Yeah, I think so.
They
Three
call
by-
it a 44 Magnum or something.
Yeah, something
Yeah, it
like
was a
that.
44
Like that.
millimeter scope.
44 millimeter, that's what it was.
And heck, that was big back then.
Yeah,
that was a big
was.
scope.
It was. I toted that rifle for a long time, and I ended up getting rid of it. But then, because I wanted a 300, and I've been hunting with the 300 Win Mag ever since. I mean, that's been my. I mean, it's probably more than I need in Mississippi, but I feel like I can take that rifle. I can go anywhere with it, and deer don't run.
Yeah.
You shoot them in the shoulder with it. I like a high shoulder shot, and I've never lost a deer with a 300.